Thank you for joining us. My name is Trina, and I'm so excited that you're here to learn with us. And I hope that you also are able to leave empowered with solutions that will help you and your family and your health. As a team, we learn by immersion. So since Betsy is newer, I'll be helping her lead this workshop. And then little by little, as she feels more comfortable, she will be able to do the workshop herself. And then she'll help the next person. Tonight will be about 30 minutes long. Make sure you stick around till the end because we do have a giveaway. And if you're watching from your phone, you can turn it sideways so you can see the slides a little better. And that even allows you to take screenshots and save those for information you really want to remember. Most people know doTERRA for their essential oils, which are amazing. But tonight we're going to be focusing on foundational wellness, which is actually doTERRA's #1 seller.
Hey guys, thanks Trina. I just wanted to thank you all for coming and watching this. Before I explain this image, I want to share a little bit about how I learned about essential oils. Um, about 12 years ago, I went to our chiropractor's office and they were giving an essential oils class. I didn't really know that much about essential oils at the time. I didn't understand how they worked, but I got a chance to try them out pretty quickly and I was really impressed. So, just a quick story. One of the first times we used it, my husband had gone to a birthday party. It was his birthday, and his friends, about 8 of them, went to a bar and they were drinking all those little beer samplers and passing them around and sharing them. And sure enough, the next morning he woke up with a sore throat, feeling achy all over, and found out that several of his friends also were experiencing those flu-like symptoms. But I had those new oils that I had just gotten from the chiropractor. And so I said, "Oh, I've got some oregano oil. Let me go put it in water and you can drink it." And he drank it right up. I put a few drops in there because our oils, a lot of them are safe to drink. And he suddenly experienced that really spicy, hot feeling that oregano will give you. And he wasn't very happy with me, but he still did it a couple more times and was able to stave off that illness and did not miss a day of work. Later, of course, found out that every single person that had gone with him missed the entire week of work because they had the flu, and my husband never got it. So that had me sold, and the testimonies just from that point on started racking up. And here we are, almost 13 years later, and still using the essential oils. But I wanted to talk about this image because this is a pretty impactful image. It shows our cell, and the cell is surrounded by an oily membrane. On the inside of the cell, you see a virus, and on the outside, you see the bacterial infection. If you end up with a bacterial infection, like pneumonia or an earache, and ear infection, then the doctor can give you an antibiotic that will take care of that bacterial infection and get rid of it. But if you end up with some sort of a virus, what are you told? You're just told to go home and rest and drink some extra fluids because they don't have a medicine that can reach inside that cell membrane to get rid of the viral infection that's bothering you. Um, anyway, essential oils are a little bit different because they actually are oils. They can penetrate through that oily membrane. At the basic level, they are pure plant extracts. There are no fillers, no synthetic ingredients. They're not diluted, and they're actually sourced from plants that are grown in their ideal environments. So it makes all the difference in the chemical profiles and the therapeutic effectiveness of the oils, and it allows them to go in, penetrating those cells to help you on a cellular level. And they will also take care of course, they'll take care of the bacteria. So not all essential oils are made the same. We need to get that clear really quickly. doTERRA oils are certified, pure, tested grade. They can be used topically, aromatically, and some of them can be used internally as long as they have that food grade label on the backside. But store-bought oils are not made the same way. They have fillers. They can be toxic. They can be harmful even if they're put onto your skin. And I certainly wouldn't even want to be breathing those in a diffuser or anything like that. And you definitely would not want to ingest them. There was a recent test that was done of a Costco peppermint essential oil, not an oil that you cook with, but an essential oil. It was being sold as something you might put in a diffuser around Christmas time. And it said 100% pure oil, but it actually only was tested to have 10% peppermint oil in it, which makes you wonder what the other 90% was. doTERRA's oils are 100% oils. And because humans and plants are both carbon-based, these essential oils are naturally compatible with our bodies. So they can permeate that cell wall to help us on a cellular level. It's important to understand that because these essential oils are also in our supplements, which open up the pathways to let those nutrients from our vitamins actually come into the cells as well. So we're going to just hop over and look at this image really quickly. In the top left, you actually see what's called coin rolling. Those cells are clumped together and they're not moving around very freely. And Dr. Hill, doTERRA's chairman of on the medical advisory board, he put 1 drop of oil on a person's foot and tested their blood again. And 30 seconds later, the oil allowed those cells to be moving around. They were no longer clumped. They were no longer sluggish or slow. They were separated and quickly moving around freely. So you can look this video up on YouTube if you want to watch it. It's about a 2-minute video.
Let's dream just a little bit. If you could pick a dream car, and let's say you could only pick one car and you have to have it for your entire life, which one of these cars would you pick? So if you only had a car for your entire life, would you put the best fuel in it? Would you skip oil changes? Would you ignore dashboard warning signs? No. You're going to choose that all those best products and really take care of it because it's irreplaceable. It's yours for life. And similarly, we only have one body. And why is it that we treat our bodies with less care than we treat a car? Um, I don't know why, but it just does seem like we set aside our health and we think we'll make time for it later. We buy cheap processed foods, we delay checkups, we don't make time for exercise. We invest in all these things like cars and homes and phones, but we don't take care of our most important asset, which is our own well-being. And often we do cut that taking care of our health.
So let's just look at this slide really quickly and just think to yourself, are you experiencing any of these health concerns, or is there anything that you don't see here that isn't represented that you might be needing help with? And it's possible you might even choose a few of these. It's even possible that you might be one of those anomalies that is experiencing not one of these. Maybe you're perfectly healthy, but then you would still be concerned about prevention. Because we all know that health issues that arise when you're in your 70s or your 80s, when you're a little bit older, those health issues actually started many, many years before. And so it's really good to look at prevention to keep us healthy all of our years. Um, I feel like really our culture has kind of come to a point of accepting that when we age, we're naturally going to decline in health. And I just don't feel like as we get older, we need to feel worse and worse. It doesn't have to be the case. Personally, for me, when I look at these images, um, I would say one of my biggest things was digestion for a very long time because I had had my gallbladder removed and the pain just didn't go away. They were ghost pains that were still bothering me. And when I started using doTERRA's essential oils, I found that the digestion really helped the pain go away. And eventually I stopped having those pains altogether. I literally just put the oil right across from my stomach over to my liver where my gallbladder used to be underneath. And the oil really helped us. And ever since then, now using some of doTERRA's supplements like the probiotics, I have had great digestion, I would say. So we really use all of these products for our tummy and our bowels, just as much as we do for health and longevity. And then when we go and we look at this slide, we see that there are two approaches to health. Everyone knows there's a modern approach and there's a natural approach. And the modern approach is the one that it would be like Western medicine, where you might go to a doctor to address your symptoms with pills, prescriptions. But sometimes those prescriptions can cause more symptoms, which will end up in a never-ending cycle. You've all seen the commercials where they say this medicine might help cure one thing, but it could also cause all these other issues. It never really gets to the root of the problem. And so it just becomes a symptom related cure. And then when we look at the natural approach, this is going to be a more holistic approach that will address and assess your body's needs and focus on the root causes of your health concerns. And instead of just putting a band-aid on a symptom, you actually can try to get to the root cause to heal it. doTERRA works with naturopathic and functional medicine doctors to create health protocols. And this year already, our team on doTERRA has had free workshops from professionals who are willingly sharing their expertise and answering questions on topics like hormones, pregnancy, pain management, detoxifying, and healthy weight. Before doing this presentation, I actually went to Google and I did a couple of quick stat checks. And I found one that said in 2023, Americans spend a total of $4.9 trillion on healthcare, which averages out to almost $15,000 a person. And the current life expectancy for women is around 81, and for men is around 76. And then there was another study from the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics that determined that 60% of the food Americans purchase and eat contain technical food additives, which means coloring or flavoring agents, preservatives, and sweeteners. All of these issues, along with the overuse of antibiotics in meat production, the decrease of nutrients in soil. This just means that it's harder to be healthy in America, and it's harder for those nutrients to get into the fruits and vegetables or the meat that we need to then be coming into our bodies. It's just kind of hard to be healthy in America. So when you want to see an example of something like this, we'll look at the orange. How many oranges do you think you would need to eat today for your body to receive the same amount of vitamin C that it might have received from an orange grown over 100 years ago? And the answer is 8. You would need to eat 8 oranges. So if you have a family of 4 and each person needs to eat 8 oranges, that's a little bit unreasonable. It'd be pretty expensive. And yes, you might be able to juice them, but that's going to be a lot of effort and a lot of money for all of that. So we just tackled nutrient deficiency, and we're also going to talk about inflammation and toxic overload, because to feel our best, these are kind of 3 areas that we need to look at. Inflammation is kind of your body's help signal. So when you get injured, it's understandable that you would have inflammation, but it's not understandable for you to constantly be triggered in inflammation through all the sugar and the processed foods, because that will lead to chronic inflammation, which is a little bit bigger deal, because you're going to deal with health issues like, oh, I don't know, digestive issues, whatever it's saying over here, your high blood pressure, heart disease, maybe diabetes or asthma, like big issues. That's actually from inflammation. And then the toxic overload. From day one, we're hit with chemicals in our food, in the products, in the air, and it all adds up, and it leaves us feeling really tired and run down. So our detox organs get a little bit sluggish, and they just don't function quite as well.
Why doTERRA? Many supplements aren't regulated by the FDA, and when tested, several supplements often don't contain what the main ingredient is listed on the bottle. Isn't that sad? When you buy your supplements at Target, Amazon, Costco, you don't really know what you're getting. Amazon has been accused of selling counterfeit supplements in containers that look like popular name brands. And in 2022, a study found that out of 30 immune supporting supplements purchased on Amazon, 57% were fake. But doTERRAs are clinically backed, developed by real doctors, and constantly tested for purity and potency. doTERRA is pretty much obsessed with purity, and I'm thankful for that. When we went to doTERRA's headquarters to take a tour, they even tested the air and water quality of the facility to make sure that everything stays pure. They test their oils from dirt to doorstep 54 times. If they don't have an ingredient, that supplement will go out of stock because they're not willing to alter the formula. doTERRA has an in-house team of scientists that are continually working with doctors to develop and test the supplements, and everything is also third-party tested. And this is my favorite, co-impact sourcing. What makes doTERRA different from all the other essential oil companies and makes them the leader in essential oils is that it really matters to doTERRA where the oil is sourced. We want to make sure that those products are grown in the correct native environment where they can really thrive. So, for example, we could grow grapefruit in all sorts of states in the US or in a hothouse, but it's going to thrive better if it grows in Hawaii or in Florida. When you look at this map, you'll see that not many of our oils are sourced from plants that are in the US. There's some in Hawaii, there's some on the East Coast, but most of them are grown where they natively grow around the world. And what I love about this is that doTERRA is giving people jobs that live in really poor communities while giving us the most natural form of ingredient. And that makes such a big difference to our health in America. When we toured doTERRA, we were able to hear a wintergreen story. Wintergreen is grown in Nepal, and the farmers were harvesting the wintergreen early because they needed the money for their families. doTERRA stepped in and offered them more money to keep the plants in the ground longer and wait until they were ripe before they harvested them. We're going to take a look here at doTERRA's wellness pyramid. It looks very different from the food pyramids that we're used to, doesn't it? As a Christian, Jesus is my solid rock, my firm foundation, and my strength comes from him. And when I'm rooted in that strength and I'm trusting him each day, that makes my forward progress strong. And similarly, our bodies need a solid foundation to be strong and growing. And you can see that line at the bottom, that green line says nutrition and digestion. Let's also add elimination in there because that is also important to a firm foundation. If we're not getting the nutrients we need, our bodies will let us know. If there's a struggle with digestion, then we will not actually absorb the nutrients from the food, the supplements, the medication. Our body's just going to kind of get out of whack. And then with elimination, we really need to be using the restroom 1 to 2 times a day to eliminate those toxins. If that's not happening, we're actually holding toxins in our body, and that creates havoc as well. Our bodies are really smart, and they can actually do a lot of healing when given the basics of what they need. So here you can see starting with a good foundation is key. So now we're going to look here at foundational wellness. This is called the foundational wellness bundle, and we'll go over each of these items in the rest of the presentation. It has 3 things in it. This is our favorite way to start to heal our bodies on the cellular level, and this is what I started with. With the VMG Plus, we're filling our nutrient gaps. With that yellow bottle, the E-omegas, we'll be reducing inflammation, supporting brain function and heart health. And with the green bottle, the PB Restore, we'll be balancing gut bacteria and supporting healthy digestion. And just so you know, these products are formulated to work better together.
Okay, so when it comes to vitamins, 2 terms that matter are bioavailability and bioretention. So, bioavailability means how much of that supplement is available to be used by your body. Because most store-bought vitamins are only 20 to 30% bioavailable, which means 70 to 80% goes straight into your toilet. Maybe you've had bright yellow pee. Bioretention is how long those nutrients are retained in your system to keep supporting you throughout the day. So if your body doesn't recognize ingredients, it can't absorb them, which will leave your vitamin shelf empty when you need immune support, energy, or healing. So why doTERRA is different? Their supplements are made from whole food ingredients that your body can recognize. So they are 80 to 90% bioavailable, and they stay in your system longer for real benefits. So when we look at VMG, that stands for vitamins, minerals, greens, plus doTERRA's essential oils. This is a daily nutritional drink with over 90 whole food-based ingredients, including fruits and vegetables, probiotics, and digestive enzymes. It's designed to fill all those nutrient gaps in your diet. Each of these sachets contains 3 to 4 servings of nutrient-dense greens plus liposomal technology, which makes it more bioavailable than other supplements. And liposomal simply means that these vitamins are protected against the digestive enzymes that might keep them from reaching your cell nucleus. doTERRA's study even showed that 91% of the VMG Plus stayed in the system for 8 hours, which meant that those nutrients were available for the body the entire day. So I also wanted to add what it tastes like. It's green, but it tastes like pineapple mango. And I actually look forward to drinking it every day. It has a very sweet, fruity taste. Um, if you want any of you to, I would love for any of you to share any experiences you might have had with the VMG if you've already tried it. And next, we're going to go into a couple of our success stories. So, I want to just remind you before you start on a new health journey of any kind, you should always take a before picture because sometimes you just don't really feel like you're changing. And when you look at the pictures, you can actually see your progress. So, that happened with me. About 8 months ago, I started taking the VMG along with the E omegas and the probiotics, and I added the collagen, which we'll add and talk about later. Um, and 8 months later, I was thinking I wasn't changing at all. And I took some progress pictures, and this is where I started. So on the left was in November, and here I am about 8 months later, and I feel like I've lost a lot of inflammation. I've not quite lost as much weight as I'd like to lose, but I know I'm changing on the inside. And I just want to say I've always been really into taking supplements. It's just kind of something that I've done, but I've never really been consistent or loyal to any one brand. Although I've used doTERRA's essential oils for almost 13 years, I'd never really committed to the supplements. And when Trina asked me if I wanted to try these supplements out, I was intrigued because I didn't realize the supplements had actually been their #1 seller for the last 10 years. So I was pretty excited to give them a try. And then she let me know that doTERRA's supplement customers have a 70% return rate, which means 70% of those customers continue buying these supplements. And I just thought, wow, I never go to the store and buy the exact same bottles of vitamins every single time. So that kind of had me interested and I wanted to try it. The next thing was the affordability and the ease. It's very simple to take these supplements through doTERRA. It is one packet of vitamins, and then there are 3 essential oil, essential omegas, omega 3s, and there is one probiotic pill. When used to, I took more than 12 supplements every day. And that's not easy because I'd have to sit and separate those out every week. And when you look at the expense of that, that's a lot of money. So in recent years, I really started to notice a drop in energy and motivation. And actually, I just was having a hard time handling stress. Some days I felt like I was kind of stuck in brain fog, or I would have like a late afternoon crash. And it was a little bit frustrating because I was lacking control of my life and stability. I never really knew how I would feel day to day. So when I tried different doctors and naturopaths and all the different supplements that I told you about already, I just felt like I was more and more frustrated. Nothing was really helping me stay productive. And when I started on these doTERRA supplements, not only did I feel better, more energetic, but I noticed so many different things. I was more active. I was able to wake up better. I was able to have sustained energy throughout the day, and I don't ever have brain fog. So what's more is these are affordable and they're a lot easier And I can see a difference, not just in myself now, I can see a difference in my friends too. And a couple of more quick pictures. The one on the top is, I know the lighting is not comparable, but I just wanted to show the difference in my hair. This first picture on the top left is about a year ago, which was 4 months before I started taking the new supplements with doTERRA. And my hair was thinning. It was very gray. And obviously, I have lost a little bit of weight, but the picture on the right shows that my hair is thicker. I have not dyed or colored my hair. It's gone darker. I don't know how that happened, but the gray has gone away. I still have a little gray underneath, but overall, I can tell a big difference. And when you look at my mom on the bottom, she's absolutely adorable. She's been taking these supplements along with a collagen for about 3 months, and I just feel like she looks amazing. She's 78 years old, and she has had, um, she wanted me to make sure that I said she does have on no makeup. So we wanted to make sure that people understand that this is the way that she just looks. Um, and you can see the decrease in all of her inflammation. It's amazing. The next picture is a picture of my daughter. She was taking the Meta Power system, which is collagen and electrolytes. Those are the two of the system she was taking, the collagen and the electrolytes, along with the PB Restore, which is the probiotic. And she just recently added the VMG Plus, the vitamins, minerals, and greens plus. And you can totally see a decrease in inflammation from her taking this for about 7 months. And of course, that amazing hair. But she says that she wakes up easier, feeling more rested, and she has sustained energy throughout the day. And then Trina, this is Trina's picture, almost a year's difference, and she's just glowing all over. She looks fantastic. She has longer, thicker, healthier hair, less gray in her hair. Her skin is tighter, her eyes are brighter, and she just looks younger.
Oh, thank you, Betsy. I think I'm just feeling better from the inside out. You can't necessarily see in the picture decreased brain fog, increased energy, and better mood. And my husband would say yes to all of those. Let's talk about the omegas. There are two main types, omega 6s and omega 3s. Omega 6s trigger inflammation, which is your body's way of protecting itself. And most of us are unfortunately overloaded with those because of processed foods. And it's really hard to get enough omega 3s to balance it out just by the American diet. Ideally, we want a 1-to-1 ratio of omega 6s and omega 3s, and most people are more like 16-to-1. That imbalance can lead to chronic inflammation, joint pain, and fatigue. Unless you're eating 2 cans of high quality tuna, chances are you're not getting enough omega 3s. And this next slide shows how important omega 3s are to our health. First, for your heart, omegas help lower blood pressure, reduce triglycerides, and keep your arteries flexible. For your brain, they're basically brain food. They support focus and memory. And for your metabolism, omegas help balance blood sugar and support a healthy weight by improving how your body uses insulin. And then for longevity, people with higher omega 3 levels have a lower risk of serious diseases. E Omega Plus makes sure you're getting what your body needs so you feel good now and also stay healthy for the long haul. And since our bodies can't make omega 3s, we do have to get them from food and supplements. Experts recommend 500 milligrams a day. Most of us only get about 90. This E Omega Plus supplement delivers 900 milligrams of omega 3s per serving. doTERRA added wild orange essential oil to this because it has limonene, which helps manage cholesterol, boost energy, and supports inflammation, but it also keeps the fish oil fresh. And that means no more fishy burps. If you've struggled with that with your omegas in the past, that's a thing of the past. Clinical studies also showed, you can see on the slide, 16.2% drop in resting heart rate, and then 14% decrease in blood pressure.
Okay, so how's everyone's gut tonight? or today, whenever you're watching this, is anyone dealing with gas or bloating or constipation? So, what about depression or anxiety? Maybe concentration or memory issues? It's not really common that you hear those last ones talked about when you're talking about your gut, but people are starting to refer to our gut as our second brain because our gut plays such a vital role in our overall health and well being. Sometimes these symptoms can arise in our brain from having an unhealthy gut that needs healing. So, PB Restore is doTERRA's probiotic. It's actually a pre, pro, and postbiotic. It has over 30 bioactive strains in a dual chamber time release delivery system. If you look at the capsule in the picture, you can see that it is a extra thick capsule. It's kind of almost a double capsule. It's encapsulated so that part of it will dissolve in your stomach. The rest will actually make it into your gut, which is where it needs to be. And this unique method will ensure that billions of healthy intestinal flora are effectively delivered into your system, all throughout your digestive system, not just in your stomach. Everyone can benefit from good probiotics. And when I talk about pre, pro, and postbiotics, prebiotics feed good bacteria. Probiotics are the good bacteria, and postbiotics are beneficial compounds that are made by the bacteria. So, when you want to give your body what it needs in just 2 minutes a day, as I already talked about how quick this is, I feel like it's the easiest solution. It's so simple, it's so affordable. It makes it easy for me to be consistent. And being consistent, I guess, habit training, it's a key to success for me on my wellness journey. The vitamins, minerals, and greens are going to fill those nutrient gaps since we're not really getting the same nutrients from food like we used to. And the E omegas are vital since our bodies don't make omega 3s. They help with our heart and brain health, our metabolism, and our hormone regulation. And then, like we said, that PB Restore will balance and heal our guts, and it will help us go to the bathroom as often as we need to. It's helped me a lot. So I also want to talk about the collagen because the collagen's been a total game changer for my family. As you already have seen in our progress pictures, it has just made such a huge difference in so much more than just our hair, skin, and nails, because that's kind of what it's known for. doTERRA's collagen does a little bit more than that. It supports your joints, your connective tissues, your brain, your gut health. It even helps with things like blood sugar, your A1C, your blood pressure, your cholesterol. All of these things are important for your metabolism and your overall health. What makes our collagen stand out? Because there are a lot of choices on the market right now. Most collagens only focus on one or two types, and you can easily look up these comparisons. You can look up a comparison between the doTERRA, MetaPower collagen, and all of those other ones on the market. And dollar for dollar, ours is less expensive and it offers a whole lot more for your system. So it's a freeze dried powder with 9 different types of collagen, and it's 12 times more absorbable, which is great because your body can actually use all of it. And there's a cool part to it. They've actually added something NMN to their collagen, which will boost NAD, which is essential for cell repair and regeneration.
MetaPower Recharge by doTERRA is a clean, mineral-rich electrolyte blend designed to combat dehydration, which actually affects about 75% of people in the US. Its formula provides 6 essential electrolytes, including sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium, in balanced ratios, plus 75 deep ocean trace minerals to support hydration, cardiovascular health, muscle and nerve function, bone strength, and cognitive performance. It has been a really hot summer. And so we have used this a lot in our home, and it is not highly sugared. It has I think, a great taste. And it's just easy to carry with you as well, besides all the extra benefits that you're getting. Um, let's see here. We're taking a look at when you first order Foundational Wellness, you can see the VMG Plus packets, the E Omegas, and the PB Restore. That's your Foundational Wellness bundle. You'll also receive that glass bottle there. It's a shaker bottle to shake up your VMG Plus and the little peppermint, which is awesome for focus, for headaches, for stomach aches. You put a drop on your feet for helping to reduce fevers. So many benefits to the peppermint oil. So I think that one's a great one to get in your first bundle. And then we also have a very generous rewards program. When you order each month, you earn points back and you get a free essential oil every month. This is kind of exciting because this year doTERRA is trying to help advocates, customers, everyone to understand that the oils complement the supplements and that the supplements complement the oils and that they work hand in hand towards total wellness. When I started using Foundational Wellness, I really joined the customer rewards program for the supplements because I wanted to feel better. But as I gone along and learned a little bit more about the oils, I'm finding that I use oils daily for balance, for really for mood, for sleep, and for emotions. And you'll find that you'll really enjoy them as you try a different one each month. Okay. Betsy, is this you?
I think we're both going to just talk a little bit about
Okay.
why we do doTERRA. So, I think I'll just go ahead and say I started doTERRA almost 13 years ago, like I said, because of the essential oils. But as I have continued to order doTERRA over the years and learned to love the products, Trina approached me and asked again for me to try out these supplements, and I realized I wanted to actually work for doTERRA. So for me, it's helped me find stability. And ultimately, I've created a community that I feel like is sharing in health and caring for people as we walk along with them on their journeys. It's created such a great community of like-minded individuals. And I'm just so excited to actually be working and helping my husband by supplementing his income.
I'm so happy for you to be working here with me too. And I joined just specifically, like I said, to feel better. I started using the products. I started feeling better, and I came from another direct selling company. So after over 10 years in another company, I decided this is where I wanted to put down my roots, and I felt that this was a mission that I could really stand behind. I love the company. I love the people that I work with, and I love sharing a product that really helps people in their health. So for better health for me, to support my family, and then just sharing that hope with others as well.
Same.
Um, oh, and I didn't say, but doTERRA is also a legacy company, so we can pass down the business to our kids, which I think is remarkable. doTERRA is a $2.5 billion debt-free company. That is pretty rare these days. 57%, or no, 59% of customers order monthly. And over 70%, as Betsy said earlier, are recurring customers that come back. And that is actually an amazing fact in direct sales, as most people, I think there's usually a 10 to 13% customer retention rate, and we have over 70. Because customers are ordering monthly, we as advocates do not need to go out and find a bunch of new customers each month. We just love being able to help people on an individual basis walk through their health journey. And when a lot of brick and mortar companies, a lot of direct selling companies are failing, doors are closing, doTERRA actually had their largest month in sales in December of 2024. And just finally, we love making an impact on people's life. So if you or anyone else you know would like more information on doTERRA as a business opportunity, please reach out to the advocate who invited you. Thank you so much for joining tonight. The advocate who invited you will be in touch to set up an appointment to go over recommendations. We hope you all take care and just thank you so much for coming.
Thank you guys.